Good afternoon, welcome to Lisa Derby City, and it's May 2023. I don't know how everybody else is feeling, but I'm feeling a bit out of sorts. But before I start with this month's reading for the month of May, just a disclaimer that this may not resonate with all of you, and this is strictly for entertainment purposes only. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to use my tarot and my angels and oracle cards. It's just going to be a quickie. What I'm going to do with the tarot, okay, I'm going to look for the death card. This is a simple question, okay. The card in front of the death card is like, what do we need to focus on? And the card behind the death card is, what do we need to leave behind? So I'm just going to knock, 1, 2, 3, give it a mix. Okay, so with the tarot, it's kind of like, what do we need to leave behind for this new month of May? And what do we need to focus on? So I'm going to look for the death card, okay? Let's see what we can get. Okay, so looking for the death card. Okay, like I've been saying, oh, so here we go, look, that's the death card, okay? The card in front is the Prince of Wands, and the card behind is the Eight of Swords. So as we know, which is quite apt, we're now in a new month of May in 2023. And like I just mentioned, we may be feeling a bit out of sorts. And some people blame it on the planet, with Mercury going into retrograde, and all things in the past are coming to the surface. So it's kind of like past memories. Our energies are kind of low, so you may be feeling demotivated, tired, or just don't give a damn. The death card is quite significant because death doesn't always necessarily mean the loss of life. Death can also mean the ending of a situation. And that ending also means a new beginning, which is quite apt. Now, the card in front was the Prince of Wands. And if you see here, this represents you, the individual, okay? And here we've got the lion. And in the background, we've got the sunshine. So this is saying it's about gathering our inner resources, our inner strength. And like I mentioned, that maybe the majority of us is feeling kind of like a bit depleted with our energy levels. So it's kind of about to focus on our health, and that's our mental, physical, spiritual, and sometimes even our financial health as well. If all our resources have been depleted in the last couple of years, and this is also in a global pandemic as well, and we're hearing things about people going on strike because the resources or the working conditions is not viable. So that affects them mentally, which then will affect them physically, and then that in turn affects them on a metaphysical level. So this is about to focus on our emotional well-being. If we are feeling better mentally, then we'll start to heal physically as well and look at things from a different perspective. So it's not going to be all doom and gloom. So that's about having inner resilience. And that old cliche, it's good to talk and strengthen numbers. And that is so true, the strength of numbers, okay? The card behind it is the Eight of Swords. The swords represent, okay, like each source represents a month as well, okay? But for this reading, this is about our past circumstances where we felt restricted or confined. And again, that confinement can be either a physical or a mental confinement as well. Because again, it's about our resources have been stretched to the limit, or there's a scarcity that we're lacking. But that is now behind us. It's kind of like to leave the past behind and just to focus and gathering our strength and our inner resilience, okay? So that's this, okay, with the death card. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use my angels and oracle cards, okay? And what I'm going to do, the equivalent to the death card, I'm going to use the seer, okay? So same type of principle. It's the card in front of that seer card is what do we need to focus on in the future? And the card behind is what to leave behind in the past. So let's see the seer, okay? Okay, the seer, where are we? Let's see what metaphysical, okay. So here we go, look. So we have the medicine guardian that was in front of the seer, okay. Then behind is the she-wolf. So same principle. The seer sees beyond the current situation. So that's why I thought I would be quite apt to choose that, because it's equivalent to the death card in a sense. So in front of the seer, we have the medicine guardian. Be open to healing information. And then behind the seer is she-wolf, unleash the wild within. So what we need to kind of like to forget about and leave in the past is to do with our ego, basically. Like to start looking at things through the eyes of the ego, because the ego is very self-centered, very selfish, and it's all me, 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 me. Like, woe is me. The ego is a bit like a child, because children, they don't consider the needs of other people. And that's what we've been kind of like doing in the past, like focusing on our own needs and not considering how our behaviours or actions affect the people around us, be it our nearest and dearest, who will usually get the not so pleasant side of us, of our nature. And that's the wild beast that doesn't care. So that's to leave that behind, to be selfish and to be more considerate, and also to probably to be have a form of gratitude for where we are as well. So it's kind of like to leave that wideness, that's egocentric, self-centered, kind of like behind. That's in the past. Because what we need to focus on is medicine guardian. Be open to healing information, which is kind of similar to the strength card. So again, whatever negativity, where it's all woe is me, forget that, that's in the past, okay? Let's be focusing on our healing, because a lot of us, since 2018, 2019, we have experienced so much and we're still processing. And these losses could be through a loss of life, loss of jobs, or even a reduced income as well. And again, that so many of us are kind of like all in the same boat, but from a different perspective. And again, the old cliche, it's good to talk. And that's part of the healing process. Whereas before, maybe in the past, we felt suppressed, or we did talk, but because of how we felt kind of like confined, what we spoke was kind of like hurtful. So it's kind of like, yes, speak your truth, but if you need some form of other healing assistance, then seek it. Because again, we all have experienced some form of trauma, some more than others. But it doesn't matter how worse or not so worse. It's just about seeking that clarity and that healing information. Okay. I'm going to end it there, because apparently I chat too much, according to my daughter. So, peace, love and healing. Have a good day. Lisa Derby City. And remember, disclaimer, this may not resonate with all of you, and this is strictly for entertainment purposes. Thank you.